Hello. In this video, we're going to go over evaluating reciprocal trig functions. Please recall that we have to remember our chart for sine, cosine, and tangent of 30, 45, and 60. The sine of 30 is 1/2, sine of 45 is √2/2, sine of 60 is √3/2. Flip them for cosine, put sine over cosine to find the tangents. Please recall that all students take calculus for the respective quadrants. This helps us determine what is positive, what is negative, or which trig function is positive and which trig function happens to be negative. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is recognize that the cotangent of x is the reciprocal function of 1 over tangent of x. So we are going to find the tangent of 9 pi over 4 and find the reciprocal of that. First step, of course, is we're going to put that into degrees. We'll do a whole other video of radians. So 9 pi over 4 times 180 over pi. The pi's cancel. This divide by 2. This divide by 2 is 90 and 2. Divide by 2 one more time. You see it's 45 and 9. All right. So the next thing we're going to go over is multiplying 45 times 9 to get our total. And we see that 9 times 5 is 5, 4. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 4 is 400. So we have 405. So we have 405 degrees there. This is not within 0 and 360, so we're going to subtract 360 for a coterminal angle. We have the tangent of 45. Next, we will graph it and find the quadrant. 45 is in my first quadrant because it's between 0 and 90. 45 right here is the reference angle. We check out our chart. The sine of 45 is 1. Apply. All students take calculus, and tangent is positive in this quadrant. Next, we need to find the cotangent of that, which is going to be fairly easy. We're going to put 1 over that positive 1 we just found. Therefore, our final answer is going to be 1. Next problem. First, we apply. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Let me clean up a little bit. Get rid of that. Okay, so secant is the reciprocal of cosine, which I didn't write. I wrote secant. So let's rewrite that. Cosine over 1. So what we need to do is find the cosine of 5 pi over 6 and find the reciprocal of that. Secant of x equal to that. So next we're going to do 5 pi over 6 times 180 over pi. Divide. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Sorry, 3. Keep the 0, 30. This is going to be 150. So next we do cosine of 150. We find the graph, which is in the second quadrant. We find our reference angle, since this is 80, 180, and this is 90, so 150. Our reference angle is the distance between our angle and the x-axis, which is 30 degrees. We are looking for the cosine of 30, and we will apply. All students take calculus. We are in the second quadrant, so only sine is positive. Therefore, our cosine must be negative. The cosine of 30, according to our chart, is √3/2, and we keep that negative. Done. And then we'll go over one last problem, and we can be done. All right, I'm going to also move this. Put this up here. Okay. So our next problem, we have cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal function of sine. So we are going to find, oh, wait, we didn't finish this one. We found the cosine of -30. We need to find the secant, which is the reciprocal. So we need to do 1 over √3/2, or you can just flip it for simplicity, because that's what it'll turn into when you multiply top and bottom by the reciprocal of the denominator. So you can just flip it and then rationalize your denominator by making sure there's no square roots. And there is our answer, the secant of 5π/6. I almost forgot that. So now, when we move on to this one, let's not forget that. 11π/3. First, we're going to take 11π/3 and multiply it by 180/π. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Keep the 0. 11 times 60 is 660. Next, we are going to find the sine of 660. That is not within 360, so we will find a coterminal angle by minusing 360, and 660 minus 360 is 300. We will then find the sine of 300. First, we graph it. We are here in the fourth quadrant because this is 270 and this is 360. We find our reference angle. If that whole thing is 300, then our reference angle is 60. We apply. All students take calculus. Only cosine is positive, therefore our sine must be negative. Negative sine of 60 is what we are going to find. The negative sine of 60 is, we take it from our chart, -√3/2. However, again, we are looking for the reciprocal, so we must flip that. 2 over -√3. Multiply top and bottom by √3. Pull out the negative to the front. -2√3/3 again is our answer for this one. So these ones can be a little weird sometimes, especially if our angle is greater than 360. Just remember to find a coterminal angle and everything is easy and we're good to go. If you have any more questions, please send me an email. Other than that, hope everyone has a great day.